Yo, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at. Most people are sitting, just waiting around for the next bull run. But smart investors, they're getting paid somewhere else while everyone else waits. Let's talk about that today. Um, Imagine just, are you struggling with trying to figure out what to do with your funds? I had a couple questions. I'm not a financial advisor by all means, but a lot of my friends and, folks that are around me always ask me, like, what should I do? Like, once they're fortunate and then they've worked their asses off to get to where they're at. And so once they're at a point where they just want to focus on their career or family, and then they just have, extra funds and savings on the side, they want to distribute their cash to start making more money, right? If you're in the same situation, this is what I'm going to break down one of the strategies today that I've been doing for years. I want to say like since 2018, at least. I started getting into the market, I want to say 2013. But then now I diversified, started doing like different strategies and see what works best for myself. And now I'm just trying to expand it and then show you guys, how to do some of that. So yeah, this is just a really good way to, really diversify and understand, like, not about pump stocks and or cryptocurrency, but more of like a more realistic approach towards understanding things. Now, you hear things like options, you hear bad, perspectives around options. Buying options for me, nothing's bad, right? If you know how to use it and if you're disciplined enough, then you can make a good amount of money doing that. But this is more for, your average folks. It's not that advanced, and it's pretty easy. It's pretty passive. Nothing's truly passive income, but you're going to have to watch and manage and understand the risk that you're putting yourself into. But yeah, today let's break that down. And I want to show you some of the opportunities and then the steps, to get into it. Not exactly to execute, I'll have some links below for some of the tools and apps that I use. So you can use that in my description, below this video. And then get signed up and start doing that. And just comment below if you want me to do like a little walkthrough or breakdown. Or I can send you a link, to someone else's channel, so that way that you can just watch it. And but if you want me to make it, just let me know as well too. But let me switch over to this guy here. So you've got, we've got whether or not you're just waiting and then just waiting on the sidelines, or you have your money into your savings account, like what I was saying, and you don't know what to do with it. One of the things that's helped me is actually build systems in place to diversify. I'm not being very emotional with it as well too. This is just a system. So one of it being like dollar cost averaging into the market, or just using, whatever your brokerage account is, and then just using the managed funds. There's a couple options, right? Those are the main things. And then this one's a little bit different. This is you're learning about the market, and then you're building a system that drives revenue. So think of it like that. Just sitting still is an opportunity. It's not fear either, but it's not, you're not, is okay, as long as you're making some money. It's not fear. Okay, let's break this down. So imagine you get into the market, and then let's say you have like, I don't know, Robinhood, right? You sell a put. You sell. You don't buy. You sell a put, and then there's some strategy around this. Like don't just go in there and sell any random put. There's a percentage, of return and chances and odds that you can do this. So do your research before, you just go into the market. This is just high level concepts that I want to get to you, in order to get some premium back. So the basics is you sell a put, then you get a premium. If you get assigned, right, this is part of the process, then you buy the stock. Now you have 100 shares of stock. Then you do a sell to covered call, right? So then you're going to sell a covered call. So then you're going to do an option to sell, right? Let me see what that looks like actually. No, you don't want to. It's and there's certain stocks that you can do this in, right? There's not all stocks you can do this. You have to look and see. But you're going to go and then you're going to trade options and then you're going to sell a call. There's like two options: buy call, buy put, or or sell call or sell put. You're going to be on the sell side. That's how you collect premium. And then that's what it's called, a covered call, when you sell. When you sell a call. So there's calls and puts. When you sell the call, that's called the covered call, right? That's how you get paid. And then if you get called, then you're going to have cash again because you're selling everything. Then you rinse again. You're going to have that cash. What I should have done is I should put cash. So I'll update that, but we'll put cash here and then maybe I can use this for like, I don't know, future lunch and learns or something. But yeah, that's the will strategy. So without calling like what it is, it's called the will strategy. So again, you're going to go in, let's say you have cash, then that's what you're going to start with, right? So let's break that down in a real example. So let's say you have $10,000 in capital. And then this premium that you're going to collect is within 30 to 45 days. That's usually what I'll pick. You can do this as weekly as well too if you want to reduce your risk. Then you can do weekly. But this is the capital, 10,000. Let's say you have $10,000. When you do a sell put, you're going to get $300, right? That's 3%. That's already 3% gain for the 30 days. Now multiply 3 by 12. If you get that every single month, that already beats the market. Like that's 30-something%. So like from my perspective, you can beat the market. You can beat these advisors and your normal fund managers, because they're gonna return you like, the average stock market would be like 8 to 10%. These advisors maybe get you 12% max, and so this is already 30-something%. From there, you've got, let's say you sell the put, and then now you have, your cash it's tied there, right? Your 10K. Then let's say it hits that mark, and then you get assigned. That's okay. Now you have 100 shares. Now you do a covered call, so then you're gonna do your sell to call, and then you get $250. Usually the calls will get actually more than your puts. But at the end of the day, you're trying to make your cash work for you. Then you're going to, let's say you get, your call sells, then you're going to have cash. You're going to have even more than this, right? I'm not breaking down the exact, position that you can put yourself into. But if I did, you would actually get a lot more. And then depending if you want to pay for taxes and all stuff, there's a lot of different strategies. What I'm saying, I'll break down on the other videos, like I don't know, like the Wheel 202 or something type of version. This is just high level that I want to show you guys. So this is where the opportunity. This is moderate risk. It's not even high risk. You're gonna get annualized 66%. And then a 5.5% monthly. So if this strategy, yes, it has risk, right? It's moderate risk, but so does everything else. And when you're looking to retire and then you're trying to understand the market, what are you going to do when you retire? You're going to have to learn the market, right? That's where your money's at. And so like, why not do this? Why not start doing it? It gives you a head start. So this is just one of the strategy I've been doing. I've been doing it for years. It's made me a ton of money, and I'm not a financial advisor by all means, but this is what you can do. So you choose what you want to do, start learning about it. I just want to expose it out to you. Let's go into the next one. So yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. So this is cash flow, right? This is ways that you can get weekly cash flows or monthly cash flow. You just reinvest, keep on doing the same thing. It'll get you a lot further than putting your money into a savings account, right? It'll get you a lot further than any savings account. You'll be able to do a lot more with this and start learning about the market at the same time, and then see which stocks you want to do this with, for fun. Don't get married to the stock, because this strategy is like just cash based. It's cash flow. And so if you have preference in the stock that performs for this strategy, then look at it that way, right? This is just a way to deploy your cash to start making more money on it, and that it'll compound to a point where you can retire, and pretty fast too. So like, you don't need your standard 2 mil or 4 mil, like where it's like out of range just to retire. With this strategy, depending on what you need to live off of, right? If you need 60K, then maybe, 66%, 100K, right? So like, you only need 100K if your living expenses is 60K, per year. That's 66 grand per year off of $100,000, where your money's tied up. So there's ways. It does bear risk. There's nothing that doesn't bear risk, but don't think that you're lost or you don't have any way to get financially free. Like, that's an excuse. There's always ways. You can do it now. Start learning about this strategy if this is something that you like and you enjoy. I mean, I like making 66% per year. I don't know who wouldn't. My other funds makes about like 25% to 30% per year, but this makes a lot more, right? That's not. I mean, that you can even get down to like 4% or 3%, and you're still making some solid returns. Still making 33%, and you're still beating the market. So think about that. Do the math where you do have options now. Don't think that you're lost if you're at that point. You can literally retire off of $200,000 or $100,000, but don't think of it like you're pulling that money, because that money has to be working for you. Again, thank you for stopping by. And if you like this type of video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I accept all feedback. Catch you guys in the next one.